Good morning, YouTube. Hey guys, we are doing something fun today. I'm pretty excited about this. So partnered up with Fishing Specialties, and we're going to install their new Fishing Specialties pole. So this is what this is. It's going to be an install video on this thing, and hopefully I'll get a chance to get out there today and do a little work. I'm also going to install my new Garmin 1022. So that'll be a whole separate video, but you can follow up, see what that has to offer. So anyway, let's get to this install, guys. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna have to take a few things out, like graphs, just because the way I ran the transducer line the original time. So I've got to take some things apart, which makes it a little more difficult, but the install itself is very easy. So y'all stay tuned. Let's check it out.
I'm an American.
Alright guys, so look, this is really all the parts. You got the actual, this is where your pole's going to go into. This will be my stopper that goes on there. Chains, a couple screws, the handle. So yeah, it's going to be pretty easy. Just a matter of running your transducer cable through the pole itself, right here. There we go, through the pole itself. And then at the bottom, you got to use the transducer that comes with Livescope with a mount, and that's what we'll be doing there. So let's get to it here. Okay guys, here we go. Let's measure this out one more time. Okay, that's where it needs to go, right there. Alright guys, so here's what I did. So I went ahead, as you saw a while ago, I got some guys behind me, so I went ahead and put my wireless mic on so you can hear me better. But I measured, put my trolling motor up, so it comes to about right here. That's where I measured, put my base plate in. So the base plate is basically 4 screws like this. Okay, drilled those directly in. Once again, when you're drilling them in, go catty corner, don't tighten them up all the way. Get them in there, get them drilled, then go back and tighten them. That base plate is set, okay? I'll put these two pieces together with this screw here. Just a little small screw that will come in your mount. Let me take one out for you. So you see it's a real small screw. There we go. And you'll put that in with the tapered in there, so it's gonna wind up being flush. Get them tight. Make sure you got them all tight. All right, so you want the one that matches with your base plate here. That's gonna go right here. And then you will use these screws here, put in there. That's what's gonna hold this down. Now, I say that, let me look at one thing. See where my connector is here. Okay, so I will do this chain a little bit later so I can cut it to the right size, get it where I need it to. But what this chain is going to do, guys, once this base plate is on, you'll want part of that hooked up to here, and then another piece hooked up to, well, probably something in there or in here, somewhere down on the boat, okay? Reason is, if this base plate gets hit, these screws here are plastic. They're made to shear off. I've seen people complain about them on a couple videos. I wish they weren't plastic. Well, you know what? The reason is so that this thing's sticking out. If I hit a dock, it's not gonna rip my plate. It's what it's gonna do is rip these screws. But of course, this is gonna go down. So if you have that chain in there, it's not going in the water. There's a guy this weekend that lost one at the tournament. So make sure they're screwed down. So we'll get to that chain here in a minute, because I'm gonna have to do some cutting on that and get it situated. And guys, I'm a mess here. This is not a hard thing to set up. I just had to pull my transducer cable out from in the boat where it was run originally to make it easier. Well, not to make it easier, because I've got to run it through that pole. But okay, so we got these things set up. All right, now what the next thing to do is put the base plate on using these plastic screws. But see, that's pretty tight. Then what's going to happen is once I run my transducer in here, this will simply, well, I didn't tighten it down yet, but this will simply sit down in here. My handle, well, I gotta loosen that screw in. There it goes. So my handle will be up here. That's how I'm gonna turn my transducer. So anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and start running the wire, run the cable through here, and we'll get moving. All right, guys, so your Garmin unit transducer came with its own mounting bracket. If you don't have that, you have somebody else install it. They didn't give you all the parts. You can pick one up. It's pretty easy. All right, so we got that going. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run our transducer cable through this end piece. And let me just show you what it's gonna do. We're also gonna run it through here. This end piece will fit basically right in there. There's a screw hole there, so it will go up a little higher. Take that out in just a second. You know what, let me go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and get that thing set in there. Perfect. All right, that's in there. So we're gonna go ahead and feed this all the way through the top. All right, so that's where we're gonna be. All right, guys, so now the transducer's on, we're gonna put the pole on. So what we're gonna make sure, if you look at this, it's angled up, or it's angled. So I want the angle going up like this. So I'm gonna need to grab that, and then this piece here, which is gonna go right here. Once it's done, it's gonna go in just like that. And I'm going ahead and run the rest of my cable through here. All right, run this in, pop that in there. What that does is keeps those metal edges away from your wire. And then I'm gonna go ahead right now and just tighten this a tad bit. Just gotta get that piece lined up. It's not in there. Find that hole. Should be right there. There we go. I'll readjust this once I get in the water. All right. So now when I'm ready to deploy this, I'll simply put that out. And one thing I forgot to do was to line my transducer up. But we'll get that. I'll have to retap that thing. So we're gonna line the, you know what, let's do it now. All right, perfect. Sometimes it's easier, guys, take a small drill, just drill a hole in there. But now what I've got is everything is lined up. So when I'm ready to deploy this pole, I simply drop it in and move. No more than that I have to deal with my last one. This is pretty cool. So all that's left for me now is to run this transducer cable back through my boat, hook it back into my black box, and we should be on the water this afternoon. Before, oh, you also have this thing here which will keep it in. You can take it out, just stops it from moving. So guys, this is a great pole. Let's get out. You know what, I'm gonna have to figure this part out too. Sorry, my buddy just drove by. I need to get this thing set up in here as well, just to make sure. So I'm gonna be putting it on this screw head here. All right, and then what I'll do is I don't have any wire cutters with me right now, so I'm gonna have to do some wire cutters. They provide you with another little piece that you can crimp and hook into something else. That way, if this does break off and fall, it's not gone. So guys, that's a pretty good install right now. Let's get to the rest of this thing. This is not something I'm gonna videotape just because it's not gonna pertain to your boat. But you know, I may put it in there anyway just to do it. But the basic install is this right here. It's very easy to do. They provide you some great instructions, show you how to do everything, show you how to do your base plates, how to do your top pole. It's fully adjustable. Once again, I get out there. If I want to move this up, I can adjust it to wherever I need. Then I'll move this piece down. So right now I'm just going to drop it in that hole because I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. So we'll adjust it once we get out in the water and go from there. So appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to post on the comments below and I'll get them answered for you. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.